So before we get going with this video, I guess I kind of need to bring you up to date with stuff that's gone on in the last 10 days or so. Since the release of my last video, you would have noticed on that I said by the time you watch this video, I will be gone, i.e. I would have left Bude. However, shortly after I released that video, Sarah and George at Woollymoor Equestrian asked me if I could stay a little while longer. They had a few things they needed to do and could really do with my help. So I would never turn down an offer to help such lovely people, so I accepted. I'm on my last day. I've just gone into town, got a few bits that I wanted to take with me. Tomorrow I will be getting on a bus. I will be going over to Plymouth, and then from Plymouth I'm going to walk along the sort of southwest coast path, darting in and out of the towns, visiting cathedrals, meeting people, doing all the sorts of normal things that I love to do. And it should be a good experience. I'll be going up through Torquay and places like that. So anyway, I hope you stick around to enjoy all that. So just passing through a little town called Launceston, which is actually about 30 miles or so, 20 miles maybe from Bude. And I've just passed through here, but trying to get to Plymouth because I want to get some stuff from Go Outdoors, and then I've got to try and find somewhere to sleep. So I don't want to be hanging around too long. But this looks like a lovely little place. I stopped and had a quick coffee, and now I'm just about to get on the bus. But I will be coming back here next time I come to see Sarah and Georgia in Bude. I'll be coming back here to have a look round because it looks like a very picturesque little place. But anyway, here's my bus. I'm just going to get on here. Right. See you in a bit. So just coming into Plymouth, what a gorgeous day to arrive somewhere kind of new that you've never been before. Really excited to be here. It's massive. Plymouth is massive. So I better be on my A game and stop myself from getting distracted and wanting to look at everything, and get on with getting into Go Outdoors and getting the little bits that I need, and then getting out and finding somewhere to sleep, because Plymouth is huge, so it could take a long time to sort of hike out of here, and we all know I have a habit of messing around first. So, right, let's see. Let me spin you around. Look at this. What a cool place. I love the buzz. I love the excitement of not knowing what's coming and stuff. It's brilliant. You know what always makes me really laugh? I'm from central London, well, inner North London, so round Highbury way. And I still, when I come to these places, when I come to these places, think that they're just massive. It's full of these like massive buildings, and I don't know why I find them so massive. It's such a strange feeling, because obviously, you know, being in London, we get massive buildings there, but for some reason, wherever I go, I feel like these buildings are much bigger. Maybe it's because everything's new and I try and absorb it all and take it all in. But let me spin you around, give you a little look at Plymouth. This place looks great, by the way. And of course, you all saw the cathedral over there, so I'm going to head over there, see if I can get inside there. But it looks like they're doing like building works of some type, so I don't know if it's shut or if it's open, but I guess we'll find out. Yes, I know, Tobe, you're supposed to be finding Go Outdoors and getting your stuff and somewhere to sleep, but we know this is going to happen. It's too good to not go through it. Look, how beautiful. And on a day like this as well, it's just amazing. Sometimes I'm so lucky with the things that happen. Just so lucky. This building's so nice, look. Wow, it must have just been, well, I think it's just been stone cleaned. But also talking about that, which is sandblasting and stone cleaning and stone restoration, it was also my first proper job when I left school, was stone cleaning, with my uncle, funny enough. And I absolutely loved it. And we actually cleaned the Royal Courts of Justice down in central London. We used to climb up the scaffolds and settle the hose pipes up, and you'd sprinkle the water, you'd spray the buildings with water and chemicals and stuff like that, according to whatever stone there was. And then that's how you bring it up to this lovely finish that you can see there. But enough about me, let me spin you around. Okay, let's see if we can get inside. So I think I'm going to have to find a little bit out about Plymouth, because there seems to be all these... Oh, the bells have just gone again. This is what I mean about luck. What an absolute beauty. Look at that. Gorgeous. And just in case some of you are wondering, I have a very big fetish for the big trucks, as we saw in one of my other videos. I can't remember what it was called, but if you're interested, I'll leave a thing there, you can go and watch it. And you hear me telling the story of my love for trucks. But anyway, we're here, we're at Go Outdoors. It took about an hour or so to kind of hike through. Plymouth looked like a lovely town. And so also, guys, just as, well, a side note, I guess. Oh wow, look at this. Where did that come from? That's got to be Dartmoor. But yeah, just as a side note, I was going to say that now it's getting dark at sort of like 4 o'clock-ish. It means I'm finding it harder and harder, obviously, to kind of squeeze in all the type of content that I like to fit into my videos for you lot. So, yeah, that's why it might seem like I'm putting bits together where I'm just walking through the towns, and I might do voiceovers or something like that to try and give you an idea about places. But I really do, whilst especially on the nights when I'm going to be out and about sleeping in the tents and there's nowhere to sleep, I kind of have to be, like I said before, on the ball and stop messing around and get on with things, you know. So that's why if it seems like maybe I'm not filming as much of the towns as perhaps I used to, so now you know why. Wow, looking at some of these tents in here really sort of get the juices flowing as to like just the possibility of things to live in. You know, coming from my tiny little one-man tent into something like that, can you imagine? Like, I could hire space out and stuff. There's so much. Look at this. Look, this looks good. That looks pretty cool. That's better. Wow. There's loads of room in there. I bet it's quite heavy though. Something like that would be good to carry around. Mind you, I don't need all that space. I'm perfectly fine in my little tent. But yeah, it'd probably be too heavy to carry that around. But it's just good because it kind of, it always reminds me that I'm doing this, you know, that I'm out here doing things when I look at little things that I could carry around, that are little extra luxuries that I don't really need. Well, I don't need, but they'd be nice to have. You know, like I saw this. This is like called an X-Light stall, and I'm kind of there visualising, you know, being at the side of a mountain range, and I can set my stall up and sit and have a coffee and have a look. But that's the romantic idea, you know. The reality is I can just drop my Bergen and sit on that and have a coffee, you know. But it's nice to come in these places and let the imagination be stimulated into that. But anyway, I've got stuff to get, so I'm going to get this. So that's all the stuff bought from Go Outdoors. There's so much stuff in there that I'd love to get. But anyway, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which means I've got about an hour of this beautiful daylight left before it starts to get dark. Now, it always probably seems quite funny to guys who might know these areas. So like Plymouth, if you know this area well, you'll be screaming at the screen saying, Tobe, go that way or go that way. I've never been here before in my life, so I have no idea. All I do is I have a quick look at Google Maps and I look for some green areas, and then I kind of head towards that. The thing is, I don't want to be hiking like this time of night, sort of, you know, 5, 6, 7 miles to get somewhere. So I try and look for somewhere that's as local as possible, bearing in mind that when I get there, hey mate, bearing in mind that when I get there, if I don't feel safe, I won't be setting up. And I've had it before in other videos where people say, Tobe, it's a perfectly fine area. I'm like, yes, but I don't know that. So I have to go with my gut feelings on all this stuff, but what I'm doing out here. So anyway, right, I'll take you with me and let's see how we go on finding somewhere to sleep in Plymouth. Beautiful. What a day. Beautiful shot. Just in the distance there, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's all, I'm guessing they're gulls that are flying around and that. It's really, like with the haze, the mist coming off that sunshine, it's really beautiful. Anyway. So what I've decided to do was come across this bridge, it's a beautiful little walk that, and come out of Plymouth. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing and going into these smaller towns on the other side of the bridge, but I'm kind of guessing if they're less populated, which I mean, it's still absolutely rammed here, so maybe I will be hiking for a long time to kind of get out the towns. But there's also plenty of greenery stuff in the background there. You know, so I might come in here, there's a Morrison's up there, I'll go and get some food and stuff like that for the night, and then I'll kind of probably head over that way where there's some greenery and stuff like that, and hopefully find somewhere relatively easy. The wonderful thing is that I've now done this so many times that I don't worry too much about these things anymore, and I'm always prepared and I always enjoy if it gets to a point where it's like I can't find anywhere and I end up hiking a long way through the night. I'm okay with that as well. I kind of enjoy it. So like I say, I've got to be real with you though. I wouldn't want to be hiking through the night every night. Obviously, you know, your body will only take so much, but I don't mind it when it does happen. In fact, I enjoy it when it does happen. So there we go. Anyway, okay, let's get to Morrison's. Well, that's a lot of supplies bought for the night, which consisted of a bottle of water. I don't really want to carry around a lot of the extra weight, so I've got like a couple of OXO cubes in here, tea bag, bit of coffee. So all I really need is water. I heat that through and can have a cup of tea. It's kind of enough really, because I'll be back in the town again tomorrow, whether that's Plymouth or I move on to the next place. I go to the next town or whatever, and then get something to eat there. So right now, looks a lot lighter in there than it actually is here. That's not saying it's dark, it's not, but it's definitely getting dark now, so I'm gonna try and head out and find somewhere to sleep. So who knows what's gonna happen, guys. But obviously, if it happens, well, then it happened. If it didn't happen, well, then it didn't get recorded because it didn't happen. Okay, right. Okay, see you in a bit. I don't know how well you can make that out, guys, but this is all like shipwrecks or boat wrecks, whatever. They all look like abandoned boats. There's another one. There's one there. It looks very surreal here because I can see them quite clearly, but unless it changes when I edit this, it seems quite dark in the video. But yeah, we're now only at 5 o'clock, and you can see how dark it's got. So you can see it's very difficult to kind of do and piece these videos together, as well as do everything else. So I don't know how interesting they're going to be if night after night I'm just kind of spending most of my time trying to find somewhere to sleep, and a lot of the videos are going to be, unfortunately, well, I'm saying that they might not be. I was going to say they're going to be in the dark. They might not be. I might figure out a way to do this. So it's now about 6:30, and it really is it really is pitch black. Let me spin you around. So this is where I'm walking now. I believe this is actually the Southwest Coast Path. So I'm hoping I can see something up here, but let me show you this. If I turn this off, that's what it is. So again, these are the I always try to show like the realities and whatever, and this is part of those realities. Oh wow, but look at that for a view. Amazing. Is that better? That looks amazing from here, guys. Wow, I'd love to find somewhere around here. Wake up with that. Love to find somewhere here, wake up with that in the morning. It's my torch I'm holding. We're improvising here. But yeah, okay, I'm going to go and see if I can find somewhere here. But yeah, it's okay. We're still, you know, it's still, it's delivering everything I kind of always thought this journey would deliver. Would be very trying times, which this is actually isn't very trying. It's glorious. The view's beautiful. You know, but it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be bad. That's what makes the journey the journey. If it was all good, then how would I know it was good? I wouldn't. It would just all be good. Okay, I'm going because I'm getting tired. Okay, so I think I found somewhere which is wonderful because it's only about 6:15. Well, I think it's about 6:30. 6:30, 7:15. I don't know if it's worth me trying to show you it or not, and I don't really want to make too much light with my head torch. However, let me spin you around because it's the same that I showed you before. So that's where I am. I'm dead opposite that, in a little alcove. Can you let me, I don't really want to do this for very long, but I do want to show you. So that is a path just there. This is a hedge line, and it sinks back just in there, and I'm going to put my tent there, which now has a side door, so the side view will be what I just showed you. And then that hedge line runs down there. So you can see there's a bench. There's the pathway just there. But the beautiful thing is, let me just turn that off. The beautiful thing is, guys, that with winter, there's always going to be the polarities of anything that you do. In the summertime, you get the beautiful long hours of the daylight. So it gives you plenty of time to sort of find somewhere, and it's not, you know, the sun goes down very late and it comes up very early, so there's minimal time in the dark. But the wonderful thing is with the winter is that people, they're not here. You know, people are indoors because it's dark. No one's going to really walk along here this time of night. You know, you might get the odd dog walker, but if I stay quiet, keep my head torch off, no one's going to see me. You know, and it's quite muddy out, so very few people will walk their dogs or whatever this far out. So, you know, there's the good side of it being the winter. So I'm going to set up here. I'll show you it once it's set up. And then I'm going to sit around for a little while, maybe try and go off somewhere and get a drink or whatever, and then come back a bit later on and see how it feels. But yeah, got a good gut feeling about it, so I'm going to set up here. That could change. If the gut feeling changes when I come back, then, or once I've set up, then I think nothing, as always, guys, of dismantling and moving on. So anyway, there you go. So we're all set up. Let me spin you around and I'll show you where we are. There she is. Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, and then that'll be the view in the morning. And the other perk, it won't get light until sort of late, so yeah, in many ways that's a perk as well. So there it is. Let me turn the light off, and we're pitch black. And that's it with the light on inside. So it does glow up a little bit. However, I have got a little red light that I can use and a little green light that's a bit more dull than that, but I thought I'd put that on so you can see it. Yeah, okay, bye then. So it's 8:30 and I thought I'd come out because I'm going to have a little walk around, go into town maybe, which is about 2 miles away. Probably won't go that far, but if I see a garage or something, I'll get a little drink and whatever else. But there's the tent. It's got little bits of frost on it, or dew, D-E-W, on the top. And the grass is soaked. So, and my breath, there you can see it. So, and that's where we are. Turn that off. There we go. So I'm glad I did come out for a little walk around, because my tent is just up the top there, about 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes walk away. And I thought I'd come out, see if I can get another bottle of water so I can have a cup of coffee in the morning as well. And I just got to give a little shout out to this wonderful place here, which is called Fort Stanford. And I'm guessing this is some kind of fort here, which is why it's called Fort Stanford. But I don't know what it is. I found nothing out about it yet. But anyway, I went in there and thought, it might be a private members area, so I went in there and said, can I just buy a couple of bottles of water? She said, yeah, of course you can. So I bought these couple of bottles of water and then said, do you do crisps or anything like that? She said, yeah, we do. So I bought a packet of crisps, and then she said, are you staying local? Have you not got any food or anything? And I just said, no. I said, funny enough, I've set my tent up the top here. And I said, I sort of eaten any snacks that I've got. We got such a long night ahead. I thought I'm just going to sit there, and it would be nice to have something to go through the night with. She went, I might have just the thing for you. And she went into the kitchen area and pulled out 3 sausage rolls and just wrapped them up in cling film for me and said, there you go, have a nice evening. What a lovely woman. So yeah, I just thought, nice little story to come out from my tent, go for a walk. I wasn't expecting anything. And as always, things just happen. But look at this little view. Pretty cool, huh? Always nice to see after you've been for a walk. Your tent's still in one piece. Good morning. So I have to be a little bit quick with this because the rain is in and out. There's the tent, and that is the view. That is lovely, that bit there. I don't think you can quite see it, but you can see all the waves coming in against the rocks, and that little lighthouse over there. Don't know if you can see it on there. There it is. Lighthouse. And cute little island there. So it's lovely to watching the way the land it just all goes in and out and in and out. It's almost, well, it is the edge of it's the edge of the land, if you like. But anyway, I've been packing away for about an hour and a half in there. It's quite complicated when it's raining out. You have these decisions that you need to make. Is it like, do I stay there for the day? There's not many people walking past, but I am in clear view, look. So there's a path, one's there. And there have been a few people walking past and the dogs come over and they bark and whatever. So you sort of think, do I leave that there because it's raining and I don't want everything to get wet, pop into town, get some bits and pieces and come back? But I don't really like leaving the tent when it is so exposed like this. Or I try and pack it away, get it inside the tent, but of course it's drizzling here. So even with the drizzle, this outer skin here is now soaking wet. So no matter what I do, that's going to get, well, it's going to stay wet all day long because it won't. I've got nowhere to dry it in this. The inner, at the moment, the inner skin, which is all that in there, that's all dry at the minute, which is really good. The moment I take that off, it's going to get wet. It's one of those decisions where you're like, oh. But also, you know, if I stay there, I've just got to sit there all day long. So I'm really not sure what to do. So this is pretty cool. I seem to have walked into a, well, not seem to have, I have walked into a harbour area to come and get a cup of coffee, but this is so cool, look. It's probably so useless to, look. It's just a load of boats. I get so excited about things. Hello. And that's where I'm going for a cup of coffee, in there. Hopefully this place is nice, but I'm going to take a look round the I'm going to take a look round the harbour area afterwards and go and see what this is all about, and then I'm going to try and find a little air mattress from somewhere. This looks like a lovely little place, isn't it? I've got the seat of the house sitting there in front of this little fireplace, but this is the view as well, Matt. Let me show you the little view. Where can I go? Let's go through that window. Wow, look at that boat there. Does anyone remember when I was in Wareham and I wanted to speak to someone who owned a boat and then managed to get on there and speak to that fisherman? That's so cool. This is what I love about it. Everything's new, you know, so all the cold and the wet and that stuff that was going on and the other stuff that you got to do. This is why I'm always saying, although they're not nice in the moments, these are like the little rewards. I'm now so grateful that I just sit next to that. I don't think it's giving off any heat, but oh, there is a little bit there. But it's just lovely to just sit here now and just, you know, yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm going. You don't need to look at me sitting around.
Like our floods in our lanes. I literally went to a lake this morning when we lived. You know, we're sort of rural.
And of course, there's nothing better than that first sip of coffee. Especially after it's been like, well, it's just been hours and hours since you've had something hot. I think, like, I used to wake up and just put the kettle on, have a shower, have a wash, whatever, you know, and I was in a flat. And then, yeah, I always enjoyed that coffee then, but now there's something in that that's just absolutely beautiful because of everything that's gone on before it. And now sitting here, with this in the background, there's people around, which I don't mind people. You know, I love being in the mountains where it's nice and quiet as well, but I'm very sociable. You've seen that on the video. So, you know, it's kind of nice to come back into it all, have a coffee, and then I'll go back out later. So, yeah, okay, bye. So that's what we were looking at last night as I went out to try and get a bottle of water and some sausage rolls, but it's a big hill down there that I've just walked up from, which is why I'm a little bit out of breath. So anyway, I'm just heading back to the tent because, well, it's starting to rain and I'm here and I don't want to get soaked before I get in the tent, so I'm in a rush. A moment of truth. Aha, I can still see her. So that was a good choice leaving that one now. And now I just got to decide if I leave it here and stay here again tonight or try and find somewhere else. We'll see. Let's see what happens. I always go with my gut intuitions at the end of the day, so yeah, we'll see. So that's another night out. I would say successful, even though my inflatable mat has gone pop, which Deanne bought for me. Thank you so much. So, sorry about that. I was saying, another successful camp done, really. And this, I slept within a stone's throw of this fort. I forget where I was at last time, guys, but I've decided to move on. So we're going to see how it pans out, see what happens. Like I say, I've ordered a new airbed. So I'm going to go nearer to the location, the collection point of that. Which is only about 3 miles away, so it's nothing major. But I thought it kind of gets my tent off of there. A few people were walking past and stuff, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave and find a new place, and we'll see what happens en route. So, yeah, I hope you stick around. Cheers, guys. I tell you, I just walk into places now like, you know, like I don't really think about it anymore. Sometimes I get spooked when I'm walking through these places, being on my own and stuff like that. I get a bit, occasionally I can get a bit spooked, but it's not happened for quite a while. And like I say, I'm familiar with this little park because I walked it the other day. It's very slippery here. It's very muddy. So yeah, I'm kind of familiar with it, but it just amazes me. And it's so weird because there's not much for you to look at. Well, there's a tree, I guess. So you can make do with me. And now I can't see where I'm going. Okay, let's stop for a second. But yeah, what was I saying? I honestly can't remember what I was talking about. Okay, that's a bit better, and I can remember what I was talking about now. I think my perceptions have got so much stronger since I've been living like this that I completely trust my instincts now at all times. You know, that if something's off, like as I'm walking and talking to you, I can't really see in front of me because I've got that shining in my... Oh, how's that? Because maybe I can see a bit then, is that? But anyway, yeah. But I sort of feel like my senses are now in control. That I would sense something's wrong, even though I can't really see in front. Isn't that just amazing? That's tapping into our primal, our primal side. Anyway, let's spin you around. God, these hills. Here we go. Okay, I can see what I'm doing now. Where am I? So, a couple of people down there. So yeah, this is a car park just here, and that's a public toilet just there. I know that's probably not very interesting, but for me, it's I think it's shut now. But it just offers that little bit of there's people around, even though I'm now going to go and tuck myself away somewhere. There's people around. There's toilets there in the morning should I need it, you know. And there is from here, or from my place where I set up camp. God, from the place where I set up camp, from about 5 minutes away from there is a little calf, like I say. And guys, I'm so sorry for my breathing, but I am going uphill. And a few of you have actually asked me, am I asthmatic? No, I'm not asthmatic, guys. It's very tiring work walking with this around all day, and it's now what, 9 o'clock at night, so you know, I've just been on the go relentlessly today, so you do get worn out from it, and I love that. I love that I get worn out doing what I love. How about that? That was nice, wasn't it? I love now that I get worn out doing what I love, whereas I used to get worn out because I was just worn out physically and worn out mentally from not liking the things that I was doing. You know, now I get worn out through just sheer love of just being here and sharing this story with you guys, and I'm getting emotional. I don't know why, but I just am. Okay, I'll see you in a bit, guys. Sometimes I have a look in these little dens there, like I can't with my new tent get inside there, it's too big. Or the footprint of the tent is too big. It's actually a smaller tent, but the footprint, which for those of you that don't know is like the size of the covering of the whole tent on the floor, is bigger. I think I explained that quite well. But yeah, so just on this open field, so I'm just kind of loosely heading back to where I stayed before, and whether or not I stay there again, I don't know. We'll see. There is a big wind forecast for tonight. I might have said that already. There's a big wind forecast for tonight, so I'm hoping I can get in like a little apex, a little corner or something. But first, got to get down here. And just for those who don't know, I'm on the southwest coast path, and I am going up a very steep hill. So that's why. Don't worry, guys. I'm not. I'm not dying here. But just like anyone, I get out of breath. So yeah. Anyway, okay. There's this. Okay, I know from I was going to go, but I know from my video that I did searching for shelter at night when I was in Swindon that you all seem to like it when I let the camera roll and you come on some of these little walks with me, so I'll just do that now. Let you see kind of what's here. And there's the city of Plymouth. It's coming into view there. That beautiful. I'm looking down at these things here, but they're all thorns and stuff like that. Big mud puddles. But really beautiful nonetheless. And here, guys, is a couple of benches, and this is where I stayed the other night. Not there, I'll show you in a sec. You know what, I think I might just go there again, even though it is on a slight hill and I was slipping out the tent. I think I can handle that. And that's where I went there. So yeah, I'm going to set up here, guys, and I'll speak to you in a bit. And I am sorry for my breathing, but let me turn this off. Lovely. And for anyone who kind of wants to look it out on Google Maps or whatever, over there, can you see my finger? This is what's called Mountbatten, all round here, and that there, I think you can see my finger, is the city of Plymouth. So yeah, should be another nice night, and I'm tucked away from the wind. Okay, bye then. So I just thought I'd have a little recce around before I set up. I normally do this every single time, guys, by the way. I think some of you know that goes on for a long way. I'm not going to walk down there. I thought there might be some little bay tucked away here or something like that might be quite nice to stay in and out of the wind and whatever, because the little pitch that I'm currently at, or where I was going to set up, is on quite a slope, and when I stayed here, I was kind of nearly out of the tent last time. I kept falling to the bottom of it, so, but it was nice and quiet, nice and peaceful, so that was why I liked it. I can deal with a night of uncomfort, but I thought I'd just go for a little walk and see if there's anywhere else that might be a bit flatter. It doesn't seem to be. Seeing that there, it goes downhill. It's all downhill there. And I'm all the way up there. But, okay, let's go back. So, good morning. That was an interesting night. Thankfully, my air mattress was nice and warm, and my sleeping bag is nice and warm because it's quite chilly out. It's very windy, but the tent's still here, so I haven't blown away. And but I was slipping all night into the corner. So let me try and spin you around. But that was my view. It's just quite nice in this tent. Right, you see this little bit here? This is like a nylon inner, so I can zip that up if I want. Come here. I can zip that up, and then it becomes like becomes like that side. But I had it open all night because I wanted the draft. I like feeling the sort of elements of draft, but oh, that's better. But yeah, so, and where I'm on a slope, I've been slipping into that corner there all night long, and it's been a real battle to keep my head up this end. So what I ended up having to do was, there's the top of the air mattress, and I was slipping down, so I put this and then my pillow on top of that. I'm sorry if this is just so early to be talking about this, so that hopefully my head and that grips on the floor, and that stopped me from falling further down into the tent. But it was a very, very uncomfortable night. I've had hardly any sleep. But it's this tent is nice and warm, thankfully. It's not really suitable for what I want, to be honest, but I'll tell you more about that later. But it's a very good tent, and it's pretty warm in here. Hence why I had the vent open as well. But anyway, I'm going to make a coffee, and then I'm going to pack away, and then go and have another coffee and something to eat. Anyway, right, I'll see you in a bit, guys. Well, that's that. A few other bits I've got to pack away, but generally it takes me about an hour to pack down. Sorry if that was a bit shaky and whatever. Obviously, if I've got two hands on it, I can do it a little bit better, but you know, it's the best I can do while I'm in the tent working with one hand. But kind of gives you a little idea of what I've got to do in here. But like I say, that's my Bergen. So in this tent, I have to keep it outside rather than inside with me, which is where I prefer it. Let me spin you around. No, there we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. So there's the Bergen, which is outside of the tent, and I've just put it on this little tarp that I've got to keep it waterproof. But it's not too bad having to come out, unzip this and go here in the middle of you know, when it gets really, really cold. It might not be the best, but this is a little sleeping area that I got, and then that was the door that I showed you earlier. Unzips. But when these are shut, there's no drafts in here or anything, which is really nice. So I love the tent for that, and it's warm. But I don't know if you can see the slope that I'm on there. So yeah, this is why last night I was a little bit reluctant. This is why last night I was a little bit reluctant to come here, because I knew it was going to do this, and it's pushed me right over to the edge. You can see, by the way, my CCF mat has gone to the window like that. It's gone right over to the edge. So yeah, it was a battle. Anyway, we're going to make a coffee. Hello guys, so I'm here with, what's your name?
Leslie.
This is Leslie. The other night when I told you I walked into the, what's the name of your place?
Fort Stamford.
Fort Stamford, and the lady gave me the sausage rolls. This is the lady. So she just walked past and seen me loitering on the land and asked me if I was getting up to mischief. I said, of course I am. And then asked for a sausage roll, but she said, sod off, you've had
I'm
enough.
not working today. Tomorrow, come in tomorrow afternoon.
This is Leslie. She's
Yeah.
lovely. So I'm going to go and show her my home for the night. I tell you, I absolutely love this. This lovely woman, Leslie. Quick, before she goes, just there, Leslie, who you saw just a minute ago. And she come up and she said to me, tomorrow afternoon she's working in the leisure centre from 12 till 5. And if I want to pop in, I can go in and have a shower. Whether or not I'll be here then, I don't know. And this guy, Martin, has told me a couple of lovely little shots, lovely little spots up on top of the hill. So you can see it's brilliant. There's me with my tent, just here, just off the southwest coast path, and the beautiful people of Plymouth just pass by, give me no hassle, offer me showers, give me sausage rolls. And
Hello, Toff.
this little dog wants to say hello. What's the dog's name?
Toff.
Hello, Toff. Hello. Toff, Toby and Martin.
There you go. Take
Hey,
care.
beautiful. See you later, mate. There you go. But yeah, we have so much fun doing this. I tell you. You know the parts of this journey when I get cold and wet and it's miserable and I'm slogging my guts out and stuff, like walking around. All of that effort, all of that hard work, if you want to call it that, is all paid off when I have little moments like that. You know, to me now they mean the world. Having all the big trappings that I was once chasing, they never gave me that level of excitement what this gives me. Just a tent pitched there, just a regular guy pitched there, and can make friends all around the United Kingdom by just doing what I want. It's amazing. Let me turn you around. I love it. So that concludes, I think, guys, on that brilliant note, the end of this video. Yeah, what a great time. What a great ending. What a great place to end. I'm going to spend the rest of the day, I'm going to find somewhere to go, spend the rest of the day editing a video, which I must get out to you guys. It's now been 10 days without a video, or 9 days without a videos. But guys, if you're here and you're still watching, thank you so much, and thank you for sticking around if I do go through long gaps. Obviously, it rains out here, it's cold, it's wet, and I move on all the time, and I can't tell you how time consuming that is now, especially when the daylight doesn't last long. But I'll do my best, I'll work it out, and I will keep going all through winter and whatever else, and I'll share all the ups and all the downs, as always, with you lot. And guys, I love you all. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you, well, wherever I end up next. And just as one last little clip, these two saw me packing away and offered to take my rubbish away for me. So leave no trace. These guys are taking away my rubbish for me. So nice one. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. I love it. I just love it so much. I love it so much.